I'm going to show you the best way to grow a small Forex account. So there's just two simple components when growing a small Forex account. So the first component is time. Since you have a smaller account, you're not going to be able to use money as your leverage to grow your account. So the most important asset that you have to is going to be time. Time is what is going to grow your Forex account. And the second component is going to be consistency. You're going to have a consistent profitable strategy. And I'm going to show you a consistent profitable strategy. Now this consistent profitable strategy is going to be a super simple strategy, and it only requires another two simple components to the strategy. So let's hop onto the whiteboards and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So consistency in trading comes down to only a few really simple things. And the first thing is going to be having a consistent strategy. Well, how do you get a consistent strategy? Well, a consistent strategy consists of having a higher win rate strategy. So this means you're going to want a strategy that has a higher probability setup. Now with this strategy, I'm going to show you how you can get these high probability setups. So let's explain here on the whiteboard exactly how this works. So first component of this trading strategy, high probability setups can come from having multiple time frame analysis and making sure that these multiple time frames are lining up in the same bias. Meaning you have let's say a 1 minute time frame, you have a 15-minute time frame, and a 1 hour time frame. You want all of these time frames to line up and have the same direction. Now, if you have all of these time frames having the same directional bias or going the same direction, then you're going to be able to take trades in that direction, giving you a higher percentage of winning these trades. So for example, if on the 1 minute you check and you're in an uptrend, you want to check the 15-minute and make sure you're in an uptrend as well. Because if you're not in an uptrend and you're in a downtrend on the 15-minute, this means that your 1 minute trades are going to have less of a chance for them to succeed, because the higher time frame, the 15-minute, is in an uptrend. So I'll show you as an example. Say we're on the 15-minute time frame. You have a trend that's going down. You're more likely to catch better trades that are going to the downside than the upside. And especially on the 1 minute, you jump to the 1 minute, you're going to have these big impulsive moves to the downside, and on the upside, the moves are going to be much smaller. So you have a better chance of taking sells on this time frame. So I'm going to jump into the charts and show you exactly what I mean. Okay, I'm going to show you, we can use any pair as an example, but I'm going to show you Euro GBP. So what we can do is use the 1 hour or even use the 1 minute. We're going to use the 1 minute, and we're going to show, we'll take replay mode here and we'll jump back to a random time in the past. We want to see what direction we're in. And right now we are in a downtrend. So this is good. We're in a downtrend on the 1 minute. Now we want to check the 15-minute and check what direction we are in. And it looks like the 15-minute, we are in a downtrend as well. Let's check the 1 hour. The 1 hour, we also happen to be in a downtrend. So this is good. Now we have 3 timelines telling us that we are in a downtrend. So if we jump to back to the 1 minute, we know that taking sells have a higher probability than taking buy. Now this is where the second concept comes into play here. So before I take a trade here, I'm going to show you the second concept. Now the second concept is for taking entries. So we know which direction to trade. We want to take sells, but where do we take our entries? Now this is the second concept. If we have a 15-minute in a downtrend, we have a 1 hour, we have the 1 hour in a downtrend. This is where we want the 1 minute to be our entry. So we want to enter our trade on the 1 minute. Now, what is our entry? Our entry is going to be when the 1 minute switches from being in the opposite direction. So we have 15-minute downtrend, 1 hour downtrend. So the 1 minute is going to be in a uptrend. And now our entry is when we wait for price to turn into a downtrend. Then when we get that transition of the 1 minute turning into a downtrend, that is when we get the momentum shift on the 1 minute time frame, and the 15-minute and the hour will follow their original high time frame bias to the downside. So right now we're in a downtrend on the 1 minute, so it doesn't make sense to enter right now because this trade already played out. But it would have made sense to enter back here when price was in this uptrend. And then when we had that transition here where price switched from the uptrend to the downtrend, this is where we're taking our sells to the downside. So if we're on the 1 minute, we'll have to wait till price, turns back into an uptrend. We want to see price here start to turn back into an uptrend. So wait till price turns back into an uptrend. And now we see prices turning back into the uptrend, which is good. And now we're going to wait till price turns back into a downtrend. When we see price start to turn back into a downtrend, that's when we will take our sell. So here, now we have that transition where price is now in that uptrend and is now turning into that downtrend. So this is where we're actually going to take our sell now to the downside. So now we have the 1 hour in a downward direction. The 15 minute is in a downward direction. So now the 1 minute is now officially turning into a downtrend as well. That will be our entry. Now we have 3 time frames all telling us that price is in a downtrend. So this is going to be the most optimal spot for us to enter in the trade. I'm going to let this trade play out. We're going to see exactly how it worked in this replay mode, but I'm also going to show you how I do this live. I took a trade last Friday using this exact same method. You're going to get to see how to do it live as well. So I'm going to show you that, and it's really simple. I'm going to get into that in a second, but let's let this trade play out. So as you can see, we ended up taking our trade over here. Price is more likely to continue to the downside as we saw there rather than to the upside. And now, we can do the same thing over and over again. As long as you still have the 15 minute in a downtrend, which we have here, and the 1 hour is still in a downtrend, which we have here, we can continue to keep taking trades on the 1 minute as it turns into a downtrend. So on the 1 minute, we have another uptrend here. We can go for another trade because we have the 1 minute turning into this downtrend. So as you can see, it was an uptrend. Now we're having this transition and price turning down into a downtrend. So we can take a trade off of that and have price more likely to go to the downside as we see. So I'm going to show you how I did this live. If you guys are looking to trade this strategy live as well, and you're looking for a broker to use to get started trading today, go ahead and sign up with AAAFX. They're actually doing a deposit bonus right now. So for every $100 that you put in, you're going to get an extra 30% on top of that. So for every $100, you're going to get an extra $30 deposit bonus on top of that. Now it's a limited deal. It's not going to last forever. So use that while you can. And this scales all the way up to $5,000. So you can get an extra $1,500 on top of a $5,000 deposit. That's money that you can end up trading, whatever you got to do with it, or take that account and take that extra deposit bonus and multiply and grow your account even more. And this is going to be very helpful for your smaller accounts because it's going to give you that extra 30% boost that you need, especially in the beginning. So go ahead and use my link in the description down below. You can sign up with this broker and take advantage of that deal right now. We're going to show you how to trade this live. Let's get right into that. We are back and it is Friday. We're doing a little Friday trading session here. Firstly, we want to make sure that we're in and out of trades as fast as possible because it is Friday. The markets are going to close in, 4 hours or so. So we want to go for something quick here and small. So we're going to be trading on the 1 minute. But let's take a minute at the higher time frames for a sec. Looks like we are in uptrend, 1 hour uptrend. We know this. We've been trading US 30. So that's not anything new to us. Looks like we broke into a downtrend here and then broke back up into an uptrend here when we broke this high. And then looks like we're still in an uptrend. Looks like we had a little bit of a pullback and it looks like we are moving to the upside now. So let's, like I said, jump to the 1 minute and see what kind of price action we have going on here. You just clear this. So it looks like we broke into a downtrend here and then that's pretty impulsive. So it looks like where was our lower high was here. We actually just broke into, it looks like we just broke into an uptrend. That was our breakout candle here. And then we had this candle as a close and a confirmation. So this is actually really good for us. Our entire bias tells us that bullish is the move right now because all the other time frames are already in uptrend. We want to go with what's most probable here. So that's most probable. Before I continue, I'm just going to go ahead and enter this trade because I don't want to miss out on it, and I'll explain some of the other couple factors I see here afterwards. But let's just do that. We'll go most recent high. So we do 1,000 divided by our stop loss 29. 34 is what we will be trading. So our stop loss is going to be a little bit bigger. That's okay. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and set my stop loss and my take profit. So yeah, it's important when you're trading, look at the higher time frames, get your directional bias first, which we did. Actually, before I started recording, I already saw that we were in this uptrend. So, it looks quick for you guys, but I did the whole analysis first. I paid attention to look where price is going. But just to quickly sum it up, yeah, uptrend, uptrend on the 15-minute, uptrend on the 4-minute. The only thing is we were in a temporary downtrend, which it looks like price actually came down, filled out these order blocks here in this downtrend when we broke this higher low, came down here. It looks like now we're trying to reverse back into a uptrend. And then we had that confirmation. Our trigger was when price broke this lower high right here, broke above, had a true break. That's our extra confirmation that we know price should continue higher. A pullback, an entry, set our stop loss below the most recent low here, and take profit. Like I said, we don't want to be in this trade too long. We've only got another 4 hours to the trading day. Actually, only another 3 hours. So this 31 take profit should be good. Like, 3 hours is still that. So within this amount of time, we should see price at least come up and tap into that. Nothing further for sure. But like I said, this is a Friday trade. We're just trying to do something simple here, get in and out as fast as we can. And yeah, we'll be back when we play this trade out. Okay guys, so while we're waiting for this trade to play out, I want to show you a trade that I actually took earlier this morning. So when we had this nice impulsive move here, I was able to catch this, and I'll show you how. And here's the trade. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. I did actually record it, but I ended up forgetting to record my screen as well. It was only recording my face. You guys won't get to see that, but here is the trade just to show you guys up on screen here. And I'll show you exactly how I took this trade as well. Obviously, as a beginner and as a trader that's going to be looking for more probable trades, it's best to look at all the biases, as we know, looking at the 1 hour, the 15-minute, the 4 hour, checking all your time frames and seeing that, all these time frames are pointed in the upwards direction. So it is better to take buys. However, once you become a little bit more experienced, you can learn how to take counter trend trades as well. And for those who are wondering or wonder how I do this, I'm going to explain it a little bit here. There comes a point in every trend where obviously there are, price doesn't just go up forever. Price has these little pullbacks every so often. So how do we catch these? Well, there's two things you have to really keep in mind. And the first thing is that these trends, because we're in an uptrend, these minor little downtrends are only going to be short term. So you have to know exactly where to enter and where to take profit, because if you don't, you're going to get caught out. So you need to understand where to take profit and where it's going to be most probable. And you need to understand that it's going to be a lot shorter than you think. Now, first of all, we had a pattern here, which is an impulsive move. And then we have price trending up. So we have an impulsive move and then a flag going up. So this usually represents that we're going to have some sort of impulsive pullback. And you can see, let me try to put a pattern up on the screen, but you can see this is a common occurrence. This is one of the patterns that like to play out. Now, not only that, but now, so that gives us a little bit of bias that we might have this short-term trend play out. That's a little bit of our bias. Now, what else can we add to the bias? Well, we didn't necessarily have divergence here, but we did have price strongly going up here. As you can see on the MACD, it was kind of even here. It wasn't too up. So this just goes to show that we're losing momentum here on the top side. And then after all that, we had this higher low here. We had this higher low get broken. This was the breakout candle here. And then we had price close below the breakout candle, signaling to us that yes, this is a confirmation. This is our trigger for us to enter. However, we didn't end up, finding this trade until it was about here. So we took the trade somewhere around here, set our stop loss a little bit above the most recent high. And now this is the most important part. When you're taking, these counter trend trades, you want to make sure that you're picking good spots to take profit, because if everything else is bullish, this trend isn't going to go on forever. This is a minor pullback in the grand picture of things. So you want to take it somewhere reasonable. And now we have obviously this gap here where price never performed any price action, because we had this big impulsive move. We had a little order block happen here, in this section, this little square right here. This is a nice little order block. So we had this, but what we were missing is some price action within here. So I knew taking our take profit down here would be the most optimal spot. And not only that, we had this order block here. So I knew this would be a place where price would interact within. And you don't want to take it exactly at the low of the order block. You want to take it somewhere reasonable where it's, higher probability of price going. So I ended up taking it right there. And that's how I made an easy $1,300 previously before taking this trade here. Now this trade looks like it was close to hitting our take profit. It is Friday, and as you can see here, I am recording on my phone. It was just millimeters away from hitting our take profit. And it is Friday, so we don't want to hold on to it too much. We already made $1,300. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close our trade here. You know, we're up $730. So may as well go ahead. I'm gonna close the trade there. And but yeah, so that's an easy, you know, $2,000 for the day. There's a couple trades that you guys got to see. Hopefully you enjoyed the technical analysis. And like I said, there's only a couple more hours left, you know, 3 hours left for the day. Things are going to start to cool down a little bit. So we might not have enough pressure to actually bring us up to our take profit. We might hit it, we might not, but we still made $730 plus the $1,300 trade earlier. I can't complain. That's $2,000 for a quick, easy Friday. I've only been on the charts for, you know, 2 hours and 30 minutes here, so it's not too bad. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that technical analysis and breakdown. And yeah.